Are you looking to find out what it takes to rank in Google this week? If so, you've came to the right podcast for you, where each week I go over what it takes to rank on the front page of Google using billions of data points. Hey, and thanks for joining me on this podcast. I'm your host, Jason Brown, the co-founder of SERPWoo and inventor of SERP tracking. And this week, we look at what it takes to rank on the front page of Google for August 18th. And we do this analyzing millions of keywords within SERPWoo, our entire data set, hundreds of millions of URLs, and billions of data points combed over and ranked into thousands of SEO factors. And then each week, I present to you what it takes to rank on the front page of Google for this week. And I have this all in a historical spreadsheet so that you can see how this has evolved week to week throughout the year. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me switch screens. And what you should be seeing here is at least the past few weeks of what it took to rank for that particular week, ranked by the highest correlating factor. But let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's take a second, though. Let me know what you think is the top factor this week. Go ahead and take a wild guess. You might be surprised by what is the number one factor. Leave a comment, though, and let's go ahead and show you what it is. Now, before I show you the factors, this is the perfect time to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. I'm not going to lie, it definitely helps with YouTube and how other people find us. So if this is something interesting to you, if you want to know what it takes to rank on the front page of Google each week and get this news delivered to you, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want, go ahead and hit the comments. Go ahead and tell me what you think is the number one factor this week. Might be surprised by that. And if you want to be one of the first people to see these videos as they roll out week to week and learn about different factors each week and what's important, go ahead and subscribe. Now let's back to the video. So this week, the number one factor is page size. Now I've gotten a lot of comments from people in prior videos. Please tell us what page size is. Please tell us what page size is. I really don't know how to define it if you don't know what it is, because I'm not really sure how you're asking the question. If you're asking what page size is, well, page size is the size of your page in kilobytes, potentially. Is it a low amount of kilobytes? Is it a high amount of kilobytes? For my particular instance, I've also wrote into some other factors that are size worthy that aren't necessarily page size specifically. And that's because if I were to list out each individual factor, a lot of these would overlap and be common, and we would have a much larger list. For an example, page size, at least in my videos, is also comprised of body tag size. So if the body tag is rather large, I'm going to just lump body size and page size. If page size is in the top 20, I'm going to roll both of those into one factor here for ease of listing on this sheet, because essentially body tag is going to be a lot of your page size, right? You're not going to have a head section that is larger than your body size. I know there's instances where that could be true, obviously, but then you're looking at poor HTML, poor page structure. So the body size is going to be most of your page size, and it's going to be most of your content, most of your word count also. But I do break out word count individually because it is a little bit more specific. But page size is strictly the size of your page in kilobytes. I do roll in body tag in here, so I don't have to list body tag separately because body tag should be rolled into page size. So if both body and page are showing in the top 20, I'm going to roll it into this one factor. So factor number 2 here, keywords in titles. This should be something anybody that's done SEO for a long time should know. Keywords in title. This is the second most important factor this week. It looks very similar to the last 4 weeks. Keywords in sentences. Now this is all about getting your keyword and sentences in your pages for your content. This does include your keyword. This does include SLI words as well within your sentences. Keywords in H2. This is my favorite factor. This factor has more longevity, being in the top 20, than any other factor going back years. Years that I looked at this data each week where I didn't publicize a video, years where I made annual reports about what it takes to rank in Google in different industries. H2 is probably the most important tag to me, but as far as correlating with ranking, it's fourth this week. Keywords in H1 is also an important factor this week. We almost had a duplicate of last week's rankings, but it did beat out H3 this week. Keywords in H3 came in after keywords in H1. Number of images plus having alt text. Extra terms and titles popped up this week where it did not for the previous 2 weeks. These extra terms and titles would be things like, if you think of a review website, it would be things like versus, best, top 20 products reviewed, the year 2022 being in the title. Extra words that are not particularly your term that you're wanting to rank for, or its LSI and related terms. And then keywords in meta description came in last place. This is basic SEO going back to when I first started ranking websites on Google. But keywords in meta description will be very important this week as well. And that's it for what it takes to rank this week in SEO. I hope you learned something new. I hope you've been watching the series to see how things have evolved, things have changed throughout this year. And if you want to be one of the first people to catch the next episode, go ahead and hit subscribe, and you'll be notified the next time we publish a video. If you haven't already, go ahead and give us a like. Maybe drop a comment to let me know if you liked the video, what could be changed, and any other questions that you might have. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next one.